position yourself to be lucky.
Yeah, but they don't know what that means.
So what would
They
you
don't
say?
know what that means. You can tell them because you have more experience usually than they do. Just like I have more experience than most. And like, I tell cats around town all the time, nothing happens here. Nothing happens in Seattle, really. Everything happens out there. Because when you go out there, you see all these things. And if you're doing it right, you understand how to build on the things that you see out there. Because it's all about people. It's always been about people. The one thing that every major artist, every minor artist, every unknown artist to every legendary artist has in common is people. And somehow, Bob Dylan sang at a coffee shop and it became a thing. Now he's a legend. Somewhere, Johnny Cash played at a Grange Hall for all we know, or a honky tonk bar, and the rest happened. But it's always about the people. And if you have a way of conveying a feeling so that other people can get it, well, you can do all the Billboard searches you want to, but every single top 10, I won't even say number one, but every single top 10, top 25, top 50, every single song that's ever charted moves people or somehow inspires people or connects with people in some way. So if you don't understand who your people are, like me, I have no idea. But the one thing that I have to keep doing is, like everyone else, putting out the hooks, putting out the stories, putting out, because you just never know what's going to connect with who. I mean, who in the hell would have thought that the whole world would have gravitated on thrift shopping? Not I, said the black man who's on the track. Nobody saw it coming.
Right.
And let me leave you with this, just on that little tip, because I'm reminded it's one of the coolest stories. We're playing in Warsaw, Poland. Bus has gotten there. I'm up early because I'm always up early. I'm traveling with production, so the riggers woke me up. They're the first ones out of the bus anyway to start mapping out where the stage is going to come. And I go out like I did before every show to see who's in line, because the most amazing thing about that tour for me was every single show, there was just lines and lines and lines of kids, some of which would show up before dawn, waiting. I'd never seen anything like it. And in Warsaw, during the day, I met this girl who she was sad, but she was kind of standing away from everyone else. And I went over and asked her, what's going on? And are you okay? And I'm disappointed. She said, why? Well, I won't be able to go to the show. I can't afford it. Then I talked to her for a little while longer and invited her in to see Soundcheck. So as we're walking into the auditorium for Soundcheck, she's like, oh, I cannot believe this, Wanz. Oh, I cannot believe this. And she's starting to cry. And I go, it's okay. I'm a fan. I used to be a fan. I remember what it's like to be a fan. And she says, no, 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 no. We don't have thrift shops in my town. And I, without even thinking about it, just said, well, why don't you start one? And she looked at me and I looked at her. I had never thought of that. Now, I don't know what happened. She ended up going to the show because, there's no way I could not get her tickets to the show.
Right.
But is she the first person in her town to have started a thrift shop? And just because I told her that she could. But that was the kind of the start of my whole public speaking thing, that because the kids that I ran into and myself at the time had a connection, same fears, same wanting to be accepted, same wanting to make an impression, leave an impression, same everything. And, now I'm trying to make a speaking career out of it because nothing's really changed in the last 10 years. Kids of a certain age just don't understand how much they already know and they don't get credit for. So therefore, they can't really build confidence, not realizing that they already have it. Not being able to build knowledge, not realizing that they already have it, because they don't get enough recognition for the things that they already do. I mean, I'm about to give a lecture in a week and a half about what it takes to be a creative. What is it that makes a creative? Because creatives are special. Creatives are the only humans that can take nothing and make something that connects with other humans. Doesn't matter what it is. Fashion, music, art, architecture, doesn't matter. But so my mantra that I learned from my experience is what I tell everybody. If you do something that makes you happy, and especially if it makes somebody else happy, never, ever, ever stop doing it, because you just never know where it could take you. And that's the moral of my story.
And what an amazing story. Like I just can't get enough of it. And you're inspiring too, because you experienced that massive rise to fame. You saw the top. And yet you get to live in the real world with the rest of us still. That I just think it's amazing that you're here talking to me, man. Like
that goes both ways, right?
Well,
like I said, it's always been amazing to me. That's like, at the time that Thrift Shop was hitting, you know who the most recorded rap artist was? 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz was on everybody's record. Did I get a call? No. Had the biggest hook in the world. Nobody, for whatever reason, and I had to it drove me nuts for years. It totally ate all the self-esteem out of my body, and I had to rebuild everything.
That's tricky.